What is going on, guys? It's Lady welcome to So Serious Gaming, and today we have the first official Fortnite Battle Royale video. I know it's technically not my first official video because I've been live streaming it and I posted up the video for my first ever win on the game. But yeah, this is the first actual video where I've actually intended to make a video with it and give you guys some hints and tips along the way. So, today we have for you my top 5 landing loot locations. So these are the places where I like to go when I first come into the game because they're the best places I feel to get loot with the minimum amount of hassle in the process. So, coming in at number 5, we have the shipping containers yard in F3 just underneath Wailing Woods. Now this place is 50-50 as far as loot goes. Sometimes the loot can be really good, other times the loot can be almost non-existent. Now I will say, make sure you search underneath all the stairs, on top of all the stairs, or any walkways you can go around, checking all the little rooms, in any little garages you find, check inside the containers, on top of containers, like in the middle of them, on the very top of them, because all the different levels of containers will have weapons and other things in them somewhere along the lines. And if all else fails, run around the outskirts, search in the back of the trucks that's around the outside and things like that, because there is always going to be loot somewhere. Like this run that I had, there was next to nothing, and the only thing I really found helpful this time was in the back of a truck outside of the container yard. But it's a really good spot, and it's extremely quiet. I mean extremely quiet. I very rarely find anybody ever goes there, so I can loot away, I can break down all the containers and stock up on lots of steel in the process, and pretty much never have to deal with anybody ever. Coming in at number 4, this spot is actually quite busy. Anarchy Acres is one of the busier spots, but it's one of the quieter, busier spots. Yeah, that's kind of backwards logic, but hey, anyway. When you drop in, I find going for the big red barn, the long barn, or the house are the best places to go in regards to maximising how much loot you get within those first few seconds. But all the barns and everything do have a really good chance of having something in them, be it chests, weapons, ammo chests, med kits, bandages, shield potion, all that stuff. Also, those 2 giant things over there, they're not dildos, I assure you. Check out those silos, break them down, because who knows, you may get lucky and you may find some chests inside of them. There may only be 1, there may be 2. It's 50-50, right? Oh, and if you go to the house after other people may have been there, check that corner behind you. Don't just go for the ammo box without looking first, because you may get shot by that guy. And it's rage-inducing. So, coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Meyer. Moist. Yeah. Anyway, now this spot is really good in my opinion. It's very rare anybody comes here, and I mean very rare anybody comes here. For every 1 time I've dropped here and had to fight people, there's been 10 times I could drop here and never have to fight anybody. So Meyer is really good if you want somewhere nice and quiet to drop. Loot wise, again, can be 50-50. If you drop on the big bush, okay, anyway, if we drop around the big tree, you may find 3 chests, like circled around the tree. You may find 2, you may find 1. Very rare occasions there may be 0. But I always aim for this big tree first, just in case those chests are actually there, because if they are, you've got yourself some nice early loot. Search around all the water, under the trees, there might be holes under the trees worth looking in. Search the tree houses, search all around, because there is loot everywhere down here. Now I know it's kind of it's a relatively big area for you to cover, and the water makes you move really slow, I know. But if you jump going through the water, it does help you move a little bit quicker. Not much, but just a little bit quicker. If getting moist isn't your thing, you could drop into our number 2 spot, where we have this nice little town on the border of D5 and D6. And this is one of those towns where you're either going to get quite a lot of people drop down at the beginning, or you're going to get nobody drop down at the beginning. But always try and land on the roof of a house, break your way from the top down, because in the attic you will generally find a chest in a house. Now which house, you know, it depends. Some houses, you know, sometimes there could be a chest in most of the houses, other times there might be a chest in a random house here and there. You know, it's all random, but because you have so many houses with so many floors in this small confined area, generally you do pretty good in regards to finding loot. You've got plenty of places to look and not very far to run in order to do it. So this is one of my favourite spots by far, and it's one of my team's favourite spots by far to go and loot. And coming into our number 1 spot, now this one I have only on one occasion ever seen somebody else go there, and we never actually ran into them. They just looted the houses at the end of this little loot run. So, if you can, you want to start above that little mountain right there in G2. There's a little house, well I say it's a little house, it's actually quite tall. But if you want to go into that house, start at the top, get the box off the top, go so far down, there's a box on a balcony, and a bit further down the stairs there's a room you can go in, and there's sometimes a box in there as well. That's 3 boxes in one house. That doesn't include all the loot that's scattered around the house. You know, there's weapons in there, there might be bandages or shield potions and things, but have a good look around the house, because there's generally plenty of loot on the floor as well. Then just a short walk away, you can't miss it. I mean, who can miss a nice cream van hanging on the edge of a cliff where there's no roads and there's just one extremely strange house nearby? But yeah, go to that van, because you will find a chest on the floor next to it, and you may even find a chest on top of it. And I think there's only ever been one time I've never seen a chest spawn there at all. So you're pretty much guaranteed a chest there too. And then if you take a further walk, not much further, literally just carry on over the hill from where you came from, you go straight over the hill past the van, and there's 2 houses. In those 2 houses, you can find chests, loot, anything. Check the basement of the first house, in the attic of the first house, check the attic of the second house, and yeah, loot away. So those are my favourite spots, guys. Just as one more mention actually, because I've just kind of realised it, Wailing Woods is also a relatively decent spot. Now there's not much loot in there, there's a maze in the middle and you may find some chests and things in the process, but you know, if you've come from up the last run, the number 1 run, from the crazy house to the ice cream van to the 2 little farmhouses, bring your way around into Wailing Woods, you may get another little opportunity at some loot along the way, who knows. If you can't make it to this house, on the little crazy house, try and make it to the first 2 houses and just do the run backwards. It's pretty easy really. So yeah, those are my favourite spots to land, guys. They're for the most part relatively quiet, they generally tend to have really good loot, and you can get away from there without having to fight your way with no guns for the most part, and maximise your chances of having a good start to the game, because you know a good start leads to a good finish, right? Whereas a bad start generally leads to you never finishing at all. So yeah. Anyway guys, I hope you find these tips helpful. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You beautiful people have a great day, and I will see you in another video. Peace!